boy AJ, and this is AJ Reacts 2. And we still bringing the heat with the sizzling summer movie reviews. Today is Dark Phoenix. And y'all just need to stop. Y'all need to stop with the hate. Y'all know this movie was lit from start to finish. But let's just break this thing down. You guys cannot punish this film for past films. Really because of what Days of Future Past did. I say when Logan went back in time and changed the timeline, that really messed stuff up. It really messed stuff up for the whole franchise. I think they should have kept it 2 X-Men series. X-Men 1, X2 United, and X-Men The Last Stand. Boom, they should have made that a series. Leave it alone. And then they should have came back over and was like, okay, this is what happened before that. And that's what they did with First Class. So First Class, boom, right off the gate. And then you got Days of Future Past. It wasn't a bad movie. It really wasn't, but it screwed everything up. Like, if you want to make Days of Future Past, take all the time travel out of it. I know it would have been hard to do. Just take all of the time travel out of it. Make it 2 separate things. I think we could have enjoyed Apocalypse more, and we could have enjoyed Dark Phoenix a lot more if it was just 2 separate things. Because now we gotta wonder why certain people have died and they're alive in the older ones, which are really, you know, the future. And I'm just like, that's too confusing for people. These movies aren't as memorable as other superhero movies anyway. So when you add all that other stuff and then like the time between how all of them were released, like people are definitely not gonna remember those. Like I remember X-Men 1 came out when I was like 9 or something like that. Who's gonna remember that stuff, man? You gotta like really be smart about that. Okay, I got on my soapbox a little bit, but back to the story. Of course, this film focused on Jean Grey and how she kind of like is not really in control of her powers. That's Jean Grey's forte. Like that's how we know Jean Grey. She always is like in and out of control of her powers, and she doesn't really know how to use them right, and she killed her parents, and like we know all that stuff. They gave us a recap. They did a really good job with that. And because they showed it, but they didn't linger too long on it because this stuff people already know. They handled this in such a clever way by showing flashbacks and like kind of cut scenes of her past, but not really giving every single little detail. I'm just like blown friggin' away by this girl's power. Like we haven't seen we haven't seen power like this. Like this girl can stand up to Thanos. She would destroy him. And I know we didn't get much backstory with the villain, but I feel like they kind of added the villain just because they had to have one. If they would have got rid of the villain, it wouldn't be anybody for them to fight at the end. So they kind of just put it there. So that's one issue that I might have with the story. But Jean's powers, it blew me out of the water. You don't really even have to focus on the villain for me because that was just everything. I think the characters were written really well. And it's of course a certain type of continuation because it's not the first film. So it's like, I think like the 4th film in this current X-Men franchise. Like we said, they combined all of them. You kind of got to play off those movies a little bit because this is the 7th film in this franchise, not including the spinoffs. And I guess this is kind of a spinoff, but it really has to do with the main story more than anything else. And something that I loved about what they did with the characters, they shined a light on the fact that Charles Xavier is not all-knowing, man. He makes mistakes. And that's something that I've been trying to, I'm like, dude, he doesn't know everything. And he makes mistakes. And that's something that I've been thinking about for the past few films. And, like, everybody looks up to him and everybody, like, they never really show him having any flaws. And this movie they did, and I loved it because sometimes I'm kind of like, this dude what is he doing? Like, he thinks he knows everything. Like, he got knocked down a peg, and I love that. He really messed Jean up, and he had to be responsible for the consequences. Everybody did an amazing job acting. Really, the only person you need to look at in this category and kind of like keep an eye on is the guy who plays Scott. And I really enjoy him in Ready Player One. But this dude, he was okay. He was pretty good. I didn't really have any like huge critiques on him. But I feel like he wasn't really up to par with what everybody else was doing. Cinematography wasn't anything extravagant. Like, I feel like they could have played a little bit more around with camera shots and like making it a little bit more artistic, a little bit more interesting than a typical superhero movie. But overall, it was really good. The special effects. Oh my gosh. That train scene? The train? Magneto? Like, all he had to do was like, he crushed the train, bro. I almost cried in the theater. It was just overwhelming. The special effects were phenomenal. So I gotta give this film an 8.5 out of 10. This film is one of my favorite films in the X-Men universe. It blew me out of the water, exceeded all my expectations. And I'm not understanding the hate. I'm ready to see it again. So if you like my review, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. I wanna see what y'all think about the film. Head down to the comments and let's talk about it. Cause you know I'm in there. Check me out on social media, AJ Reacts 2. Thank you for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video.